Hello everyone! So, I have finally arrived to that chapter. Chapter 7 of the Bonehunters. And really, I couldn't be more excited about this chapter because I've heard so many things online. So many good things being said about this chapter. But I'm going completely blind into the chapter. I have no idea what it's going to be about. No idea, really. So, due to the immense amount of hype surrounding this chapter and this whole book throughout, I thought it would be a nice idea to record my reaction as I read throughout this chapter, and every couple of pages, every 10 or 15 pages, I plan on coming here and recording my reaction, my initial impressions, and what I'm thinking as I'm reading through the chapter. But overall, I have to say that Bonehunters is a really, really good book. I have been enjoying it up until now so much. I was so happy to come back to Seven Cities because it's my favorite continent. I think it's the most different continent overall. It's like anything I've ever read in any book. The characters, the history in this continent, it's so good, really. I was so happy to be back with Leoman of the Flails and Korab. I love them both so much. I don't know what's gonna happen between this battle between Cold Iron Leoman of the Flails and Cold Iron Adjunct Tavor. I hope, please, that none of them die because I'm a great fan of both characters. But I was also very happy to revisit Ikarim and Mappo because I am such a fan of their beautiful relationship. And also I was really happy to be back with my boy Karsa Orlong. I'm really enjoying their relationship with Samar Dev, and also getting back with the 14th Army and getting back with Fiddler, Quick Ben, Callum, Bottle, and the rest of the soldiers, because I really enjoy all of their conversations and everything. So overall, Bonehunters is up here. I don't know how it's gonna be when I end this book, but I'm really excited to get into the chapter. So let's go straight into the chapter and see where it leads us. I'll be recording my reaction throughout, so let's go. 18 pages into this amazing chapter, and I'm so incredibly hooked. I have no idea what is going to happen at Igatan, but these pages got me really excited, because one of the things I love the most about battles or sieges or any type of confrontation is not the actual battle, because I usually get really confused with all the fighting that is going on, but I love the moments beforehand when everyone is just very nervous, nobody knows what to do or anything, and these first pages were the clear example of that. Everyone is so uneasy. No one knows where to go, what to say, who to talk with. I mean, Sergeant Helian is just drunk. She doesn't know where her corporal is or anything like that, where her squad is. But, I mean, I love her so much. Also, I don't know what happened with Crump. I mean, he's one of the sappers and he blew one of his explosions before he was supposed to do it. And it created like this really big explosion and it killed a lot of people. But like, that wasn't supposed to happen, I think. I don't know what happened there. Really confused about that. But I think they managed to create like a hole in the wall, and Fiddler is about to send his squad into the city. So I guess it was good for the Malazans, but I mean, I suppose they lost quite a lot of soldiers. So I don't know. But also I'm so intrigued as to what Leoman of the Flails is going to do, because he reunited these fanatics at the beginning of the chapter, and they said that they were prepared to die, and then they started doing something with lights throughout the city. So really curious as to where that is going to go. But I just hope, please I hope he doesn't die. I have this feeling that he's going to die battling and something big is gonna happen, but I just hope he doesn't die. Please, I'm just praying. But I mean, I stand the relationship between the Dun Sparrow, the third, and Korab. I mean, he's just so jealous, and I mean, they have this love-hate relationship. I mean, it's more hate, but I think it's something I mean, I think some kind of love can stem from this. I don't know, but I really, really enjoy that. I mean, Lorik came into the city from outside with his horse. So, I mean, I think things are now more balanced because he's a high mage. So, well, I mean, but why did he come? I mean, what is Leoman planning with the Queen of Dreams? With the Queen of Dreams, is she called? I think she's called Queen of Dreams. What is he planning? I mean, he is supposed... I mean, the Queen of Dreams is a goddess from the Malazan army. So, I mean, I think he's not supposed to talk with her. But I don't know, I'm just very confused. I don't know what's going on. But to me, the highlight of this chapter, well, of these first 18 pages, it was a moment when Botol, he used the Warren of Meanas to kind of hide the sappers to get close to the wall of the city, and he used this Warren of Meanas to create like a mist. That was a really, really cool imagery. That got me really excited. So let's see where this takes us. I'm very, very excited. Also was very happy to see Lostara, and Pearl to appear again for this chapter, because I stand their relationship a lot. So let's see. I'm really, really excited. What the hell happened here? I mean, what the hell happened here? How did I not see this coming? Really, how did I not see this coming? Because it was all in front of me. Even this Scalisara goddess, the matron goddess of olive oil, and the hollow walls filled with olive oil to make these buildings just a huge fire trap. And I did not see anything of this coming. I feel so stupid actually. But oh my god, literally, I don't know how Erickson manages to make these descriptions just so vivid and so real. I could feel I was in that city burning myself alive, and my clothes were all burning and I could not even breathe. So good, literally, I can't even say how good these 30 pages were. I have no clue. Like, I don't even know what to say, but I could feel what all of these characters were feeling. I mean, characters like Pella, his death was so sad. Him turning up his knees and that reminding him of his childhood just at the moment of his death. So sad and so emotional. Erickson has this capacity to make us care about all of these really, really insignificant characters. There are hundreds, thousands of characters in these books, and he makes us feel so much for them. I was just so sad about his death, and I mean, Lostara Yule getting almost killed. I was like, please, I just hope she doesn't get killed. I think someone saved her in the end. And then Kenneth, his armor just burning and then all screaming and panicking. So good. I don't even know what to say. And then us getting Temul's perspective from outside the city, having both perspectives inside the city and outside at the same time. This chapter has just changed my whole perspective on Malazan. Literally, I have just complete admiration for this. I don't even know what to say, really. And Helion changing from this drunken woman to changing completely to this, like, commanding her squad in such an efficient and decisive manner. This is why I love her. This is why I stan her. From now on, this is a Helion stan account for sure. I mean, I can already tell that this book is going to be my all-time favorite. This is for sure anything better than Memories of Ice. This battle is just the best one I've ever seen. So, yeah, I mean, I'll continue reading. I'll give you an update very soon, but this is the best chapter I've ever read in my life. I mean, they can't even breathe. They can't even breathe. Literally, I mean, the fireballs, the flames, the heat, the suffocation. It's like all of this enormous firestorm has a life of its own. The imagery is so well written. I have no comments to make, literally. I can't even talk because I was really sad when I was reading it. I was very emotionally affected and I felt really sad, but I was just, my mouth was completely open because I was in awe, because I've never seen these type of descriptions just so well written. So well written. And I mean, I did not care about so many of these soldiers before. I mean, Sergeant Baum and his squad, he's such a good character and he commands his whole squad in such a good way. And I can perfectly distinguish between all of these squads and all of these surgeons and corporals now inside the city, and all of them taking these decisions. And I mean, Truth running into the fire and Gessler trying to save him. Literally, all of these characters, so good. I mean, this Sin girl, I think she's a kind of mage, but she's a child. Have we met her before? Because I think her name is somehow familiar from House of Chains. I think, maybe, I'm not sure. But, I mean, so good. I mean, I don't know what to say, really. I'm very disappointed on Leo, Man of the Flails, I have to say. Really disappointed. I mean, he is a character that I loved, and I still love, because I like when all of these characters are not entirely dark or entirely white. I mean, they're kind of greyish, and I mean, Leo Man has gone a bit into the darker side, I would say. But I felt so sad for Korab, and he admired Leo Man so much, and he had so much faith in him. He had put so much of his, of his hope in giving his life to Leo Man, and he was betrayed. He didn't even count on him for telling him about his plan. And yeah, I mean, and he even escaped. I mean, if he died inside the city, then it would be more of a last stand, and it would be kind of, wow, that was impressive. But him leaving and escaping and letting all of his fanatic soldiers die, I don't know what to feel about that. But I mean, I kind of still love him. I can't help it. But Korab, I feel so bad for him, literally. This chapter continues to impress me all the time, literally all the time. But with the Queen of Dreams, I'm a bit confused. So she wants this kind of seer of Drina. She wants someone to fill the place, and she has already selected someone. And then she wants Lorik to protect that person. But why does she need Leo Man? What does he have to give her? Because he has to probably give her something in exchange for opening the portal and allowing them to leave. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm so lost, literally. But that moment when Fiddler got hurt and stabbed in his foot, I mean, that was please. This chapter is leading me to think that he's gonna end up dying and sacrificing himself for the group or something like that. Please don't kill Fiddler. I just hope he doesn't get killed, because this is really leading me to think that that's gonna end up happening in the end, and I really hope that doesn't happen. But I mean, let's see. I mean, the whole group is gonna try and escape through the ruins beneath the palace, or beneath the temple, through with the help of rats, with the help of Bottle. Let's see how that goes. I don't know if they'll be able to make it, but I have faith. I don't think Eriksson is gonna end up killing all of the group, right? I hope he wouldn't be that evil, right? Let's see, guys. I'll continue reading and I'll let you know soon. This passage has left me so completely broken, literally. I'll tell you why now in a bit, but firstly, I wanted to read two of the quotes I really liked regarding the fire. Warrior and soldier, the fire held to no allegiance. It was devouring everyone. And also this quote that said, round and over the city, drawing up the flames up, spinning tails of fire that slashed like giant swords through the convulsing smoke. It was getting harder and harder to breathe. And I really think that is just such a good quote to explain like how this fire is just devouring everything. And I mean, the paragraphs are getting like so short all throughout this whole chapter. Like the whole chapter, I think it's like 80 pages, and these scenes are literally just a couple of lines. And normally we get these at the end of the books, but now this is chapter 7, and these are just scene all the time, and it's just a lot right now. But I forgot to talk about this in the last video that I recorded, but the humor, the intelligent banter that Erikson has written between the soldiers, it's the humor in all of this tragedy, in all of these scenes. Like, how can he write in such a good way? I can't even explain it, but the banter is so good. Like, I've never laughed and cried so much at the same time. Literally. I don't know what to say. Regarding the rats, and I really like this quote too. Rats will flee even when there's nowhere to go. That's one of my all-time favorite quotes in these books, literally. I just loved that quote a lot. And there was also another quote that I really liked regarding compassion, which I think I haven't really seen it anywhere being mentioned, or not a lot, but I think it's really, really good. Compassion existed when and only when one could step outside oneself to suddenly see the bars from inside the cage. And I really, really loved that quote, really. One of the things that I loved the most about these pages right now was Korab helping Fiddler through the ruins and helping him. And that was just so wholesome. And I mean, I suffer from claustrophobia. I hate closed spaces. I hate being encaged into like really, really small caves and these kind of things. So you can imagine how hard it was to read these pages, literally. I can't imagine what they are going through, but the whole imagery, the descriptions, the feelings that they are going through, the thoughts, so good, so well written. The rope, everyone just getting stuck and getting worried because they can't even move. The heat coming up from the other side, everyone just bleeding to death because they are all wounded and they all burned, and then they find this kind of honey. I don't know what it was called. Carol Barra, the Godbringer. I don't know what that was about, but I mean, I assume they give them some type of hallucination or sleep, and they all started dreaming or hallucinating. I'm a bit unsure about that, but one of the things that I really enjoyed was all of them kind of dreaming into their own memories, or I don't know, but Bottle and the ape story, that was so touching, and I mean, it was so good, so sad. And then Fiddler and a Hedge, that conversation broke me completely, because we got some backstory into their friendship previously in this book, and then us seeing this pair of friends reuniting together in like a kind of hallucination or memory or something like that. That was so touching, really. I think this chapter has it all. It has it all. It has made me cry. It has made me laugh. It has made me kind of feel nostalgic, feel the compassion that, I don't know. I am just so, I don't know what to say. So good. And then Kenneth also thinking about his family, that really touched me. And then they are marching off because the plague is getting near, and they are marching off. But then this child Grub, I mean, I suppose he's still a child, but he said something that they are still buried in the city and nobody is even listening to him, and they are gonna leave and leave them all inside without any help. So I don't know, this chapter is so overwhelming. So let's see. I have, I think, 10 pages left, so let's see how this ends. Guys, I finally finished this chapter, and oh god, I feel like this has been such a long journey, but at the same time really short. God, that moment when Bottle and Cuttle couldn't find a way out of that underground tunnel and they were just stuck inside, I was literally sweating. I was shivering, literally. Claustrophobia had taken over my whole body because I hate these kind of really small places underground. I hate them, and I was just panicking with these soldiers. I was panicking with them, and I mean, that was such a good ending. Sword, Faladin Sword and Sin deserting the soldiers and going back to try and find them, and that was so nice. That was really nice. It was so funny when Sword wanted to kill the rats, and then Bottle prevented that from happening, and I really liked that quote that said, "We're all rat worshippers now." That was so funny. I loved it, and the fact that he named it Igatan, that was so funny, so good. But yeah, Gessler going back to save Korab and Fiddler, so wholesome. These relationships between these soldiers, they share all of these moments of huge tragedy and warfare and suffering and all these kind of things, and it's just so wholesome to see them all caring about each other so much. Really, it was lovely. I mean, that last scene with Korab and Fiddler, that was beautiful storytelling, really. That was one of the reasons why I love so much Malazan. These soldiers that don't even know each other that much, and Korab cared, and you know, he dragged Fiddler with him throughout all of this horrible journey for so many days. When they said that this was like for 3 or 4 days, I was just like, wow, they were there for like so many days. And I really liked 2 of the quotes that Korab said. I'm gonna read them. So much had changed inside him. He was no believer in crosses. Not anymore. Certainty was an illusion, a lie. Fanatism was poison in the soul, and the first victim in its inexorable, ever-growing list was compassion. Who could speak of the freedom when one's own soul was bound in chains? That was such a good quote, literally. And there was this other that I really liked. Fiddler, I was thinking, here I am trapped, and yet it is only now I think that I have finally escaped my prison. Funny, isn't it? Literally, Korab has just become my now all-time favorite character in Malazan. Literally, I'm so happy to. I feel so privileged to have read this chapter. I feel like everyone should have the privilege of reading it, because this was just so amazing. It's the best fantasy. It's best fantasy chapter I've ever read. Really, I have no words to describe my huge satisfaction, because it was just a huge roller coaster of emotions throughout, literally. And yeah, I mean, that final scene, I'm glad they all managed to escape, or yeah, at least most of them. I know a lot of soldiers died, burned alive, and it was very tragic, but at least the ones that we really love, they managed to escape. I'm really curious as to what's going to happen now, where this is going to lead, but overall, I'm sorry, but Bonehunters, right now, I can already tell, has become my new favorite book in the Malazan Book of the Fallen. This chapter has solidified my love 100%. It was just impressive, literally the best chapter I've ever read. I've been reading this chapter for like 5 hours. 5 hours of Malazan non-stop, but I wanted to do this because I felt like I wanted to go through all of this passage one way and kind of enjoy it and share my reactions with you, because yeah, that was a huge adventure. So thank you guys for watching. I would really appreciate if you could tell me what you thought about this chapter when you first read it, and tell me more of your thoughts. What do you think is going to happen next? What were your favorite parts of this magnificent chapter? And guys, if you liked this sort of video reaction of me recording my reaction throughout the chapter, and you would like me to do it more times, tell me if there are any chapters in future books specifically that you would want me to record, and yeah, I'll try and record them. So thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.